guys, I have been promising a Project Life video for the longest time, I sort of was mentioning it back in August that I usually do, or I used to do, shall we say, a digital, well, let's go back. I used to do the old-fashioned just photos and a slip-in album. And then digital photography came along, and for the longest time I did digital photo books. And I hadn't done anything for 2015. I don't know. I was feeling like going back again to photos because I wasn't really feeling the digital albums anymore, like the photo books, the printed photo books. John loves them, and the reason he loves them is because they're really thin. Like, you can get a whole year's worth in like a really thin book thing. So that's why he likes them, because they don't take up so much space. But I am the record keeper. Oh, sorry, flashing a bit of Brazil there. I am the record keeper in the family, and I think a lot of women are. And so I'm the one that does all the journaling, all the memory keeping, all the photos sorting out and that stuff. And I don't know, I wasn't feeling the whole sitting up at the computer doing my photos, all that kind of thing. I wanted to get away from the computer and get back to sort of tangible photos. And I started watching YouTube, which, as you know, can be very dangerous. Started watching YouTube vids, and I mean, I use Project Life cards in my journals and planners, so I was not new to the concept of Project Life or to Project Life cards. And as you guys know, I stock a lot of Project Life in my shop. And the more I was just looking at the stuff and people's videos, the more I was like, yeah, I really want to do Project Life. So Project Life was born. Here is my album. This is the Heidi Swap black and white stripe album, which I really like. It is blooming heavy now. Blooming heavy. So I will show you some of my pages. I'm not going to show you all of my pages because some of the photos have got like friends and family and their kids and stuff in it, and you know, I haven't asked their permission, so I'm not going to show you every single page and every single photo on every single page. But what I thought I would do is I would perhaps show you some of the layouts that I really like and why, and maybe some of the photos that I really like and why. But before I did that, I thought I would just literally talk about it and my process and everything. So I came to it in August, and so I was already 8 months behind. I didn't print out all my photos until the end of August, so a full 8 months behind. And trying to catch up is pretty tricky. And I hadn't even thought about doing Project Life until then. So I literally had to go back through all of my photos and get them printed. A lot of my photos in the early part of this book I am not massively happy with. And as you guys know, I used to work as a professional photographer, but I used to do boudoir photography. And that is a very different discipline to doing other types of photography, because it's very arty, it's very dark, it's very moody, it's all studio with controlled lighting, but you know, it's very, you know, anyway. And I do have a 5D Mark II, love my 5D Mark II, although it's on the blink at the moment. And I don't know, I fell out of love with photography, I have to admit, and I found that I just wasn't taking any photos like at home and stuff, and I got to the point where I couldn't be bothered to get out a camera, and I was using my old phone, so my top keeps riding up today. I was using my old phone for taking photos, which isn't the best quality. And when I came to printing out my photos, I realised I had not many photos and quite crappy photos, to be honest with you. And I got really disappointed in myself, So then I vowed to make more of an effort, and so I've started to take more photos again, and I have rediscovered my love for photography again. Printing out physical photos and looking at them has definitely rediscovered my love for photography and taking photos and recording our memories and all of that. So that has definitely helped, and it's pushed me more to think about what I'm taking again before I necessarily take it, because I start to think in terms of layout. And so I'm kind of mixing up with taking like a landscape and portrait. I'm using predominantly Design A pocket pages in here. So I'm taking a mix of landscape and portrait in order to accommodate the pocket sizes. Now, because I watch these videos, and a lot of these people who do Project Life are like really seasoned scrapbookers, and oh my god, they're amazing. Like if you've ever watched any of Stephanie Bryan's videos, she does, I think she's on the Studio Calico channel. My god, hers are amazing, but I don't have the time or the, you know, it's there's so many things I want to do, and you can only do so many things, and I get the impression that she is just a scrapbooker, whereas I'm a project lifer and a journaler and a bookworm and a and also it doesn't help when you're 8 months behind, because you're trying desperately hard to catch up whilst life is still going on. So for that reason, my pages aren't really embellished or fancy. I have literally just stuck the photos and the journal cards in the pockets. I haven't done anything fancy. I started to add a couple of embellishments and things, and I just thought, I can't do this. I just need to concentrate on getting my photos printed and getting them stuck in the pockets. And I'm not doing Project Life in the way that I've seen other people do Project Life. I've seen that people do Project Life and they take one spread per week, and they take photos and snippets of their like normal lives. Sorry, I'm so fidgety today. Sorry. I'm filming in my bedroom, and I normally film in my office, but the light in my office is really crappy. Hence, I'm in the bedroom, and I don't know, it's weird. It feels weird. So I've totally lost track of what I was saying. Oh, guys. What the hell was I saying? Hang on, it'll come to me in a minute. I'll just keep talking, it'll come to me. So yeah, I was just literally catching up and shoving my photos in. And I don't think I did really try to do a week, but you know, like on a spread, but it just didn't work for me. And so I thought, I'm not gonna push it. If it's not gonna work for me like that, I'm not gonna push it. I'm literally just gonna, that will, if I've got to force myself to take photos to fit a spread for the week, that's going to kill my love and my joy for the photography and the photo taking. So I decided just to have fun and just take more photos. That was my aim. Take more photos and just see how it goes, have fun with it and all that kind of stuff. And it's working. It is working. I am pretty much up to date. John and I did have a week off in November, and we did some stuff which I need to take print my photos of. Also, there's some of the spreads in here that I need to go back through and do the journaling for. And there's some cards I need to corner around and stuff, because I just shoved them in, and I do like them to be all corner rounded, because it bugs me that some of them are square and some of them are corner rounded. So I need to do that. But generally speaking, I'm really enjoying it and it's working well for me. And yeah, I'm hoping to try to do it again, you know. Yes. No, not hoping. I am going to continue it into the new year. However, I'm probably not going to do the whole 1 week, one spread thing. I'm just going to carry on doing what I'm doing now and just take more photos. Yeah, so do you want to have a look? I will turn the camera around and I will show you some of my favourites. Okay, so I'm just going to handhold because I can't get the whole thing in with the tripod. My lovely bed. As I said, the light is much better in here at the moment because it's winter. So my first off, this has been growing organically. This is my first page, and I didn't set out to put these cards in, and photos in, they just kind of spoke to me. Like, these were leftover photos from other spreads. I can't remember what all of the collections were with these cards. I will try my hardest. If you ask me which collection they're from, I will try my hardest to find out for you. Because I do have most of these collections in stock in the shop, so I can have a look. But yeah, I just kind of, when a card spoke to me, I chucked it in, and, you know, like that. And then these photos were leftovers from other spreads. A bit dusty with other stuff in it. But yeah, so there's that. So that's my opening page, title page, I don't know what you call it. So here's an example where, not really gutted because my little splodgy, you know, you just got to take more photos, guys, because you don't necessarily realise how long any of us have got on in this world. And bless her, my little splodgykins passed away, and I thought I had loads of photos of her, but it turned out that I didn't. And she passed away in January, and I was gutted when I was putting this album together that I didn't have as many photos as I thought I had. So there you go, take more photos. But here's an example of how I started to kind of put little embellishments in. So I did one like here and here and here, but yeah, it didn't last very long at all because it's quite time consuming to go through all your stash and find bits and pieces. And here's what I was saying about like thinking about which way you're taking your photos. So, you know, landscape and portraits so that they fit nicely in the portrait 3x4s pockets. I also, because a lot of my photos, a lot of these photos were taken before I even thought about doing Project Life, and a lot of them were square from what I posted on Instagram. So I also got some of these square pockets and some of the square cards and printed off some of my Instagram photos. This is from a walk that I did round near where we live in the snow, and yeah, I just snapped away, posted the photos on Instagram, and then I just, yeah, as I said, I just literally printed them off, corner rounded them, and popped them in the pockets. I, as you'll see quite a lot sometimes on Instagram because I share quite a lot of photos on Instagram, I really enjoy using different apps. I use the Ronna Designs app, and I also use the Little Moments app to overlay words on my photos, and I really like the way that looks. I think it's quite nice just to kind of not fill up, but also it looks pretty, it looks more like art. These were hot cross buns that John made, so it was nice to kind of take a photo of those and document those, and they were just some of our Easter sweets. That just looks really pretty, huh? Life is sweet. So yeah, it's just kind of an example of some other sort of things that I do with my photos. I was trying to think, how cute is that? This was when Florence was poorly, and she was upstairs in the spare room. So it's part of life, isn't it, that you document? And it was around Easter. So yeah. There's hardly anything on this page, but I do like it just because it's kind of like clean and fresh. John isn't necessarily a massive fan of the Project Life because he doesn't really understand why you'd want to put all these like pretty cards in and things, and I try and sort of say to him it's to make it look visually appealing, whereas John often thinks that's a waste of a space that you could put a photo. And sometimes he's like, well, just put that photo in there, and I'm like, no, it doesn't go with the spread, it doesn't go with the whole the whole look of the page. And he's like, yeah, but then you could just shove a photo in there, and and I'm like, no. So that's kind of where we differ slightly. But even though there isn't really much, there's just 2 photos and 1 journaling card, I just really love how this this spread looks. So I took quite a few photos when I went to Italy with my mum to see my mum and dad. As you guys may or may not know, my parents live in Italy. My parents are totally fine with being on camera. I vlogged while I was there. And a lovely lady sent me some craft Project Life cards, which I'd never seen before. And they just really, the craft tone, we were in Rome and it's very sort of warm tones and a lot of, like, as you can see in the back there, like, because it's really old landscape, like really brown buildings. So I thought the brown tone of the craft cards would work really, really well with these photos. Yeah, that's my daddy, there's my mummy. We were at the Trajan markets, which is definitely well worth a visit if you're in Rome. In fact, everything's well worth a visit when you're in Rome. Another example here of using word overlays on a photo. Probably can't see it too well, but this is a view from our hotel room of the sea. And it was a 4x4, it was a square photo that I put on Instagram, but I wanted to include it in this this spread, so I literally just backed it onto another card to make it fit inside the pocket. Few different things to show you here. I look so tired in this photo, but that's because I was. So again, sorry, a bit shaky because I'm just going down. Again, some more word overlays on a photo, again, view from the hotel. And again, this is another square photo, and I just backed it onto a 6x4 card and then cut it in half so it would go over the two pockets. And hopefully you can see what that kind of looks like. I think it works really well. And I did the same thing here with the putting a square photo onto the 6x4, and I also used an acetate overlay there, so you've got some writing on that side, and that's how that looks. This is some of my kind of trying to do some everyday life stuff around here, using some more of the words on photos and just taking snippets from around here. And I've got like a die cut card so you can see through to the other side. And yeah, this is just like, this was the summer and I was drinking a lot of this particular squash. John made scones and we had afternoon tea in the garden. You know, just sort of documenting some of those kind of everyday things. Another example there of the using the words on the photo. Not only do I love this little guinea pig, I absolutely adore this photo of her. I think it's just so cute. I've got another couple of cute photos, just silly things that the rabbits do. Like, I mean, that does not look comfortable, but she just kind of wrapped herself around a box, and I just love that fuzzy bum and those fluffy feet. And just love that photo of my little Betty Bobbins. I love this spread because I really enjoy the colours. I just think they're just, I don't know, they just love it. Yeah, more of the whole text on top of photos and using a filter to make it look all vintagey, and that was stuck onto a 3x4 card. I also started making my own cards as well. So this is my handwriting, the beach then. I photographed it, so I've got these I can print out sort of time and time again. And just some of my own photography of some of the beach huts, just to kind of complement. We always do selfies. We're a big fan of the whole selfie thing. John with his chip butty. So I think we were wearing really complementary colours, guys, for the day. I mean, look at that azure blue sky and then John's blue top, you know. I thought I'd be a bit more creative. So this is just, we were walking along on the road towards the beach, and it was really sunny and our shadows were being cast, and I thought it'd be kind of quirky to photograph our shadows, and then I just put a heart on as well. So these are just some more of the cards I made with my own lettering. Did those using the brush, and as I said, I photographed them, and I've got them that I can use time and time again now. So I'm just about capturing some of the crazy things like the animals do or my kids do. things like they're really naughty and they jump up on the chairs. They know they're not allowed to. They're only allowed in the dining room under supervision anyway. But sometimes they're really naughty. They jump up on the sofa, you know, on the chairs, and they just give me that kind of what mum look. But it's just like capturing their quirky little personalities and the things that they do, which is kind of fun. And I just try and think creatively with some of my photos. So like this one of Florence, she was having a cuddle with her dad, and I just kind of, you know, thought about, you know, the kind of creatively taking a photo so that it looks a bit different, so that isn't your kind of bog standard photo, just something a little bit more creative. There's more of the cards that I made again. And this sort of spread kind of tells a story to me, because there's Bay wide awake in her tub, and then there's her settling down, and then there's her fast asleep. So it's kind of like a whole story telling of her, you know, dozing off. That's a die cut card, and it was just garden time. So just a snapshot of a couple of snapshots of John just mowing the lawn, and then and then just some of the girls in their runs in the garden. This is a bit of a different spread. I kind of had a lot of black and white photos that I'd taken from like and stuff that I'd posted on Instagram. And I didn't necessarily go with anything in particular, so I decided to do a kind of like an around here kind of spread. So I just put all the black and white photos together, really. Some more of the words on photos thing. And I had this photo of this sunset. This was taken from my back garden. Absolutely amazing sunset. I didn't really know where to put it though, and I had all these black and white photos, and I mounted one of my photos onto a pink 3x4 card, and then I just thought that would just go really well together. And over here is just kind of one of these kind of around here kind of posts, just as I said to you, just like enjoying taking photos again for no particular reason. Like I love this mug, and put a bit of Boca effect on it, and the yum word, and popcorn with happy weekend on it. You know, just enjoying having, you know, playing around with photography again. And I screenshot a text message that I got from John, which I thought was hilarious. You know, not hilarious, sorry, it was a different one. I'm thinking of a different one. I think there's another one further on in the book that was really funny. But I just thought this was a nice sort of text and a nice memory. And I was Skyping with my mum and dad. Not Skyping, FaceTiming. So I just did a screenshot, and I thought that was quite cool to put in. And a selfie. I was having quite a good hair day that day, so I decided to do a selfie. And there's some sort of bigger screenshots of my mum and dad. We were just goofing around. Just having a bit of a goof around, and I thought it was really funny just to kind of take some screenshots of the conversation we were having. Yeah. And this photo here just kind of reflects around here sometimes. Like I was cleaning the rabbits out, it was a rainy, like bad day, so I've got washing hanging everywhere drying. They were all in the dining room being really cheeky, and I just took a photo from the outside looking in. I just thought that was kind of like a quirky, different kind of photo. So that's it. That's my Project Life album. So far, well, pretty much so far. There's loads more pages in there, but as I said to you, I just wanted to show you some of the spreads that I really liked the most, or some of the photos I really liked, or some of the different techniques that I was experimenting with, rather than show you my entire album. So I'm sorry it's taken so long to do this video, but I'm glad I waited, because I now had more spreads to choose from to kind of show you some of the things, and I think it was worth waiting for. I think you'll agree. So there we go, that's it guys. I hope you enjoyed having a little look at my Project Life album for 2015. See you soon guys, bye.